So I really like Les Paul guitars. I love the two humbuckers. I love the tone, but there's always one problem. It's the scale length. When I play on the upper frets, my fingers always get jammed up and it's just way too cramped for me. So that's why I like playing Fender Strats or longer scale length guitars. But then today I was going through my guitar closet and I found this right here. This is an Epiphone slash body. And you see that? That's a bolt-on little neck here. And I found this in my closet. I found a Strat neck. This is actually a Fender Strat neck. So the idea is to combine these two and maybe I get the best of both worlds. Let's go ahead and find out. So here's the plan. I have the body and the neck. I went around my guitar junk drawer and I found these two pickups. I found a Seymour Duncan Screamin' Demon, and I think this is a SH1 or the Hot Rodded, whichever this is, JB1, something like that. So I'm gonna have this in the neck, this in the bridge. I have this little switch here. I have no knobs, but fuck knobs, whoever even uses it in the first place. So it's gonna just be a humbucker, two humbuckers and a switch, and that is my setup. So I've run into my first problem, is that these holes, they line up with these holes, but this is blocked, so it's a little bit too high, so they don't line up completely. So instead of re-drilling these holes here, because I'm too lazy, I'm just gonna take this chisel and just chisel out this part here so I can just slide it in easier, if that makes sense. I know it's gonna require more physical work, but I mean, I'm freaking jacked, yo. This should be easy. Let's go. So I literally just took the chisel and chiseled right here, and then this just popped right off. I need to probably flatten this a little bit, but that only took like 2 seconds. So yeah, I just did some chiseling. That took like another minute and a half, and boom, it's perfect. And this fits right in now. And I should just get a nice fit. I mean, and we'll just wire it up and see. So change of plans. The Screamin' Demon cannot reach because the cable's too short. So I'm just gonna put this in the bridge and then just hook it straight to the jack. And that will be, this guitar is gonna be a punk rocker. And yeah, let's do it. Okay, so I wired it just straight to the jack and we're gonna test it out and see if it actually makes sound. Here's the amp, here's the guitar, and I have my little metal piece, and we're gonna see if this works. We know the amp is on. Oh, I hear some buzzing. Boom, it works. It's buzzing a lot because it's not grounded, right? But, I mean, it is what it is. So it's not like gonna be a main guitar of mine. So, yeah, let's string up and see how it sounds. So I got these cheap guitar strings from the cheapest guitar on Amazon. Don't want to open up new set of strings for this experiment, so I have this cheap set here. I'm gonna string it up and see how it sounds. All right, guys, this is the guitar here. So we got the Screamin' Demon here. Here's the thing. Here's the neck, sorry. Now what you will notice is it's not lined up correctly or really well. So there's a lot of extra space here and there's no space on the 6th string. So the 1st string, lots of space. The 6th string, practically no space at all. So you have to play perfectly on that string. So riffing won't go super well. That's probably because I didn't line up this here. I just used whatever holes they were on there. They lined up with this guitar, but I guess it don't line up with the bridge. So if it sounds great, I will line it up. So I have it plugged into my Hughes and Kettner right here. I think everything's on 12. And I have that going into the red box here, going into a Reaper. So you get kind of the camera audio. I'll switch between the camera audio and the DI signal. So let's just hear how it sounds. And here we go. I notice is the intonation. Is really bad. But let's see. Honestly, it sounds more like a Strat than it does a Les Paul. So maybe that does go to show that the scale length really does matter when it comes to the twanginess of the guitar. Let's put on some drive and see how that sounds as well. Maybe this will sink it. Yeah, that's the sound test. I'll play some more for you guys until you guys click off. But what I do notice is this: I play 9-gauge strings usually, and these are 10-gauge strings here, and it feels a lot more slinky than the 9-gauge strings I play on my regular Strat style guitars. So what does that mean with this whole experiment? Well, I feel like the scale length affects the twanginess of the guitar, and maybe the bridge or whatever, it must be the bridge, affects kind of how tight the strings are. So yeah, maybe you want a twangier Les Paul, but you still like that string. Maybe you could just get a body like this, line these up correctly, and then boom, you'll have your own abomination guitar. But here's some more playing. It's out of tune already. And here we go.